I think it is safe to say that Niantic or Scopely or whoever runs this game at the moment has just stuffed up big time. I've been doing some battles recently, but I've been really wanting to make any videos. I've just been practicing a bit, but I needed to make a video on this. It is disgusting that this can even work. I used an Aegislash that I put some rare candies into, evolved this 96 Honed. So first off, it's not even good PvP IVs. And it comes out at just over 900 CP at level 22. And I used it in Open Masters League and won battles. In fact, I should have gone positive, but I made one mistake in a game that made me go 2-5. I should have gone positive with a 900 CP Pokemon with one move and not even a hundo, and it's just ridiculous. I'm making this video because it's really funny, but it needs to get fixed because this is going to get old real quick. Right now it seems fun, but in 2 days, I guarantee you everyone's going to be sick of this Pokemon. Anyway, let's just jump into the battles because you're about to see some crazy things that this Pokemon can do. By the way, it's 900 CP, 1400 in its blade form. And what this thing can do, even when it's at this level, is insane and should not be happening. Anyway, let's just jump into the battles. Just recording this segment real quick. The Pokemon Direct's about to start where I am, so anyway, I'm going to show you this battle. This is the first battle I did with my Aegislash after powering it up and evolving it. And but when I say power it up, I powered it up 2 levels, so it's like level 22. This is ridiculous. And by the way, this is one of the battles that actually doesn't go in my favor because this person actually kind of knows what they're doing against Aegislash. Anyway, up against the Palkia Origin form, pretty common lead in Open Master League. This is a level 50 Palkia Origin form. I am a level 22, 900 CP Aegislash. You're about to see something that should not happen. So I go for Shadow Ball here, and the cool thing about Aegislash is when you go for a charge move, it switches from its shield form into its blade form, and it switches its defense and attack stats around. So now it has a super high attack stat, but it's a raid level, it's 1400 CP. This surely won't do. It 2-shots Palkia, basically, with Shadow Ball, a raid level Aegislash. Goes for Aqua Tail, and I can actually, it was a CMP tie, so I'm actually able to go back into my blade form here, charge up and throw this other Shadow Ball. And even like in my shield form, you do like 1 damage per hit, but now he's in a range where Shadow Ball basically KO, so he has to respect this. And what it means is that once I switch into blade form, the animation's sick, by the way, but it takes a while, so you can actually stall the clock. He shields it, I just switch in Zacian and catch the Aqua Tail. And it's just so stupid. Oh, man. I switched my team up after this because, Ho-Oh's everywhere in Master League, and I was just having fun. I wasn't even trying, so I was like, yeah, right, Ho-Oh. So he can just he just farms up. And I'll just throw a Behemoth Blade here. I'm not actually really trying. I'm just, having fun. But you're about to see something even more stupid as well. I come back in with Aegislash. Look how much damage these Incinerates are doing. And I make a mistake there because I throw before the Incinerate goes through, meaning that the animation doesn't play because I'm dead. Bang, the Aegislash is gone. So that was a mistake by me, but it's cool to know if you're getting knocked out by a fast move that you actually don't go through the animation, interestingly. Anyway, that Ho-Oh was on Earthquake, so okay. Very interesting, but did you see how much damage those Incinerates are doing? It is ridiculous how much damage those Incinerates were doing. I can't believe it. He goes to Space Run here, but like I was just having so much fun. I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, GG's to that opponent. We'll get into the next video. And then after my first little tryout session with Aegislash and Open Master League, I decided to do a couple of battles with a couple of people on my friends list. So here's a battle with Aegislash, one of my best mates in Pokemon Go. He did not know I had this yet, and you're about to see some crazy stuff. So he sends in his Kyogre. He started with Zacian. He goes to Surf. I no shield. Nothing, just does nothing. Now, actually here, I think I actually got damage registration error, meaning the waterfall that Kyogre did actually will go through on the blade form, meaning it will do a lot of damage. See? Do you see how much health my Aegislash had then? It took about 20% from a waterfall anyway. So I just switch in Black Kyurem here, and there's nothing he can, this Kyogre can do, unless he has Blizzard, but I'm not going to let it get to a Blizzard. So I farm up, go for the Fusion Bolt there. He can send back in Zacian Crown, but I can just start going for these Fusion Bolts. And it'll add up. Fusion Bolt does almost 50% to Zacian. And you know what? I was recording some videos recently to maybe make an actual video on my YouTube channel about, and let's just say Black Kyurem might be involved. He's been pretty strong recently. Anyway, I bring back in my Aegislash here, go for the Shadow Ball, and it's actually a CMP type, but that's fine, because look at this. I no shield. I don't need to shield this. I'm a 900 CP Aegislash. That's a Behemoth Blade from a 5,600 Zacian, Hundo Best Buddy Zacian Crown. Hundo Best Buddy Zacian Crown, 5,600 CP. And it did barely anything. I wasn't able to swap out there, but he sends in his Palkia and I send in my Zacian Crown. And this game's over because I have 2 shields. Dragon Breath does next to nothing to Zacian Crown. But did you see how disgusting Aegislash was in this battle? Did you see that? Behemoth Blade did barely anything, did nothing. Surf did nothing. The waterfalls and any fast moves when it's in a shield form, nothing. Just, it is disgusting. It's really fun. Like this is just funny and it's a bit fun, but this will get old quickly. And they need to fix it because I genuinely don't know what we'll all do if they keep it this way. Anyway, GG's to my friend there. We'll hop into another battle with Mothermate here. Now the thing is, I never battled this guy, so he was very confused at why I asked him to battle, but we'll see why. Anyway, hop into the first match against this guy, leading my Aegislash 900 CP against his level 50 Hundo Zygarde complete. Now, he farms up to the crunch, and I no shield because, look, super effective. Doesn't look like it. These Dragon Tails are doing probably 1 damage. I am also doing 1 damage to him. Anyway, this is a Shadow Ball from a level 22 Aegislash, by the way, into a Zygarde complete. Now, you might not think that's a lot of damage, but that's a level 50 Hundo Zygarde, and I have a level 22 Aegislash. And that's how much damage that did. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I can't believe that. Anyway, he sends in his own Zacian here. I go for my Behemoth Blade. I don't want to debuff myself yet because I don't want to get farmed down. So I go for another Behemoth Blade. This will either KO him and get his second shield. If he gets his second shield, then I basically won. He goes for a move here. I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to let it go. I don't really care. Let's just let it go. And you know what? I'm going to come in with Aegislash. I'm going to farm down this Zacian with Aegislash. That does 1 damage per fast move. And look at this. Close combat, nothing. Yeah, nothing. To be fair, that is a resisted move, but still nothing. Sends in his Reshiram, got a few Fire Fangs through. They did barely anything too. Look at I'm still at like half health. Just ridiculous. Anyway, I send in my Black Kyurem here. And I just go straight for the Fusion Bolt because this will basically put it, this will basically KO it, or I'll just be able to farm down here. No shields, and I just am able to farm down. He goes for a move here. I'll just shield it. Doesn't matter what it is, I'll just shield it. Fusion Flare. And he sends, what does he send in? I think it's Zacian. Or does he go back in with Zygarde? No, he does go back in with Zygarde. Now here, I bait because I know this guy well. I'm almost positive he'll shield it. And he does. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send in my Aegislash. And he responds, sends back in his Zacian. But look at this. I don't have to respect anything that this Zacian has. I don't have to respect anything from anyone. I farm down with a move that does 1 damage. He sends back in his Zygarde. I go for a Shadow Ball here. See how much damage this does again. Now remember, when I'm in my Blade form, I take a lot more damage, so I'm probably going to get fainted here. But I'm actually able to make another Shadow Ball. And this will basically KO this Zygarde. He lives on 1 HP, but I send in my Black here and 1 Shadow Claw gets the win. Just ridiculous. Anyway, after this, we get back into some Master League battles, so here we go. Alright, here's our next battle. Leading with Aegislash as always into a Shadow Rhyperior. This is a 900 CP Aegislash. I'm going to keep saying that. This is a Shadow Rhyperior, level 50. Do you see how much damage those Mud Slaps are doing? Yeah. Breaking Swipe, tickles, doesn't do anything. Alright, and I farm up, go for the Shadow Ball here. Hopefully that wasn't damage registration error, because if it was, my Aegislash will just die to a Mud Slap here. Go for the Shadow Ball. Does he shield it? No. Does half his health. Just a raid level Aegislash. But anyway, I send in my Zacian. Shield here, because a Rockerick would actually do quite a lot, even resisted. And I'm able to farm down, but not before he gets another move. This is just a Breaking Swipe, so I'll just no-shield it because it will do next to nothing. However, it can lower my attack. Thankfully, it doesn't, which is great, because he sends in his own Zacian here. And because I don't have lowered attack, that means most of my moves are threatening. I'll go for a close combat because I think he's going to shield. He does shield, so I'll get my second close combat here. And this will basically put him in either super low or get a shield. It doesn't, but I just send him my Aegislash and he throws a move, and yep, that does nothing. I think we all I kind of get it by now. I farm up a lot because I don't want to throw my move yet. He goes for another Behemoth Blade, just tickles basically. Behemoth Blade from a 5600 CP Zacian Crowned, just tickles. 900 CP Aegislash, but whatever. Alright. Go for the Shadow Ball, knocks him out. He actually comes in with Palkia, wasn't able to switch out there. This is a bit troubling, actually. I was like, oh no. Am I actually going to be able to win? I send in Black here. I'm like, well, go for the Fusion Bolt here. But he actually got their return before I used my Fusion Bolt, so he goes Rocket Tail. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for Free Shot, because if he knows shields, I win. But if he doesn't, there's a chance it lowers his attack. It means I might be able to get to a move on Zacian. Goes for it, doesn't lower his attack. I'm like, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to make the move. I don't think I'm going to be able to make this move. And then in this moment, I'm like, actually, no, I'm making this move. I underestimated Zacian Crown, which is something ridiculous to say. I was just too gobsmacked by Aegislash, and then I was like, hang on, Zacian Crown's actually super strong too. Anyway, and then it's a simultaneous KO, but I have Black Hero in the back, so I win. So, GG's that opponent. I just won with a 900 CP Aegislash in Open Master League against Zacian Crown, Shadow Rhyperior, and Palkia Origin form. Anyway, leading into the next match, we're leading into another Palkia Origin form, and here they throw an Aqua Tail against my shield form, Aegislash. Does nothing. I keep farming, go for the CMP tie here. That way he throws it into my shield form, and I'll be able to respond with a Shadow Ball here. This will do actually quite a decent amount of damage if he no-shields it, and I'll just switch into Zacian. It's just so insane. Switch into Zacian. Excuse me. And I farm up a lot. Sorry, it's a bit late here. Just watch the Pokemon Presents. It was pretty bad, but anyway, that's okay. We're not here for that. I accidentally stopped tapping there. I was taking my jumper off because I was a bit hot, and I underestimated how quickly I'd be back in the battle. Anyway, so I farm up here a lot, taking a lot of damage, but I just go for a Behemoth Blade here. I could go for close combat, but I don't want to lower my defense. I want to make sure that Zacian's survivability remains the same, and he sends in a Kyogre. And in this situation, I go for Behemoth Blade. I was never making a close combat, so I should have always been close combat, but he shields it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send in Black Kyurem. He responds with his own Zacian, and here I'm like, okay, this is fine. I could just go for Fusion Bolt after Fusion Bolt. The only problem is he's going to be able to farm me quite a lot down with his Zacian, but I'll just shield, get a bunch of energy on my Black Kyurem, either force a shield here or knock him out. And here, if they shield, they've basically lost, because Aegislash with a shield is just insane. The only thing you got to watch out for is fast move damage if you're in your Blade form. He sends in his Kyogre here. I could have gone for Fusion Bolt straight away, but I didn't want to. I wanted to send in Aegislash, and I just want to show you just some more of how incredibly okay and not broken this Pokemon is. And I'm like, I should have thrown there. But then I was like, hang on, this is Aegislash. I'm not gonna go down to a Surf. Nah, of course not. So here you'll see that because the Waterfall went through, it's actually not going to go into its Blade form. Shadow Ball just goes through because I get KO'd. But I can just send in Black Kyurem and go for Fusion Bolt, and that takes the win. So GG's to that opponent. But man, Aegislash is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. I'm just lost for words, honestly. Anyway, here's our next match. Of course, we're leading Aegislash again because that's the whole point of this. Let's see what they lead up against. It is a Palkia Origin form. Alright, let's see if they throw on alignment. They do not. They're farming up. Farming up. And they're farming up really far. I'm like, hang on. This is a Fire Blast, but I'm going to let it through. Let's see how much a Fire Blast does. Maybe a one-hit KO. No, that didn't one-hit KO. That actually did probably 35% of my health. Yeah. The only reason this Palkia's actually done so much damage to me is because it's such a low level, my Aegislash, even though the Dragon Breaths are doing 1 damage per hit, because I don't have a lot of HP, 20 Dragon Breaths are already going through 20% of my health because I've only got like 100 HP. Anyway, send in Zacian, they send in their Ho-Oh, and I'm like, well, this is not very good, is it? They actually throw energy here, which is interesting. They preserve health on their Ho-Oh, and I was like, I could have sent in Black Kyurem here, but I was like, I want to see how much these Incinerates do to Aegislash. I'm like, yeah, that's not much. I'll throw a Shadow Ball here, and then I realised my mistake. I threw the Shadow Ball on poor timing, meaning the Incinerate goes through, and my Aegislash is now gone. So, yeah, GG's to this opponent. I've basically lost now. But that's also something, too, you got to watch out for Aegislash. If you let moves sneak while you're using a charge move, expect Aegislash to lose basically all its health, especially if it's only 900 CP. Anyway, GG's to that opponent. Next match, Aegislash into Reshiram. I was like, I've never seen a Reshiram lead. I haven't seen a Reshiram lead in like a year, but whatever. And I was like, you know what? Let's just see how much damage a Fusion Flare does from a Reshiram. It doesn't get old. It's just ridiculous that this is even a thing. I can't believe it. But anyway, switch into Blade form. Go for a Shadow Ball here. Let's see how much damage this does. Yeah, basically half the Reshiram's health. Just a raid level Aegislash, but whatever. I basically farmed down here, and I'm like, yeah, this is probably just a Fusion Flare, so I'll no-shield it. Turns out it's a Stone Edge, and I was wrong, but I'm able to farm down before they farm me down, and I can just blind throw Aqua Tail. Actually, they send in Landorus, which is really interesting, because I'm like, okay, well, now you basically have to shield that, so you go down to shield. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to send in Aegislash. I'm not playing well here at all. I'm just having fun. Watch this. Landorus, Aegislash, CNC Storm? Nah, nothing. Was that super effective damage from a Landorus Therian? Nah, I don't believe in it. Anyway, I sent in Black Kyurem here. I've basically lost because, Black Kyurem is an Ice type. I have Shadow Claw as a fast move. I don't have much fast move pressure here, so I go for the CMP tire here on the Freeze Shock because basically if he no shields, it's fine. If he shields, whatever. And then he ends up having Ho-Oh in the back. Where I'm like, well, is there a chance I win this? Could I win this? I get the last shield with his Fusion Bolt, and do I make another Fusion Bolt before he farms it down? I am debuffed, but does this KO? In this moment, I'm like, it's a Shadow Ho-Oh, and I was like, debuffed, you know what, this probably won't KO, and it didn't, so GG's to that opponent. And that's all I really wanted to show, guys. This is genuinely the most broken Pokemon they've ever released into Pokemon Go, and they need to fix it. They need to fix it badly. Anyway, but one last thing, I'm sure you see it on the screen, just to, drive the message home, that's a Primal Groudon Precipice Blades. 6,600 CP Primal Groudon Precipice Blades against a 900 CP Aegislash. Does about, 60% of its health? That's ridiculous. Look at that. What kind of screenshot is that? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I think I might start uploading some videos again. I've been having a bit of fun with some battles recently. And I'm trying to get better at my move counts and move timing and trying to predict the battle and what teams my opponents have and thinking, oh, you know, based on what they have, do they have a Ho-Oh in the back or whatever? Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.